Yo, my Instagram and my Facebook got permanently disabled, which is pretty much a good thing. I've been planning on getting rid of it for a long time. The main point of this is we're doing operations as a religious organization now, which means we have nonprofit, we have tax exempt status, 501c3 tax exempt status. We're a 508 religious organization. Poi is way of life. Poi has always been part of the way of life of people who spun poi, and there's not a fair distribution of profit margins in the flow arts world. I don't really consider poi spinning part of flow arts. Spinning poi is definitely involved in flow arts, but poi spinning, for me, and I think historically speaking, it's religious. The word religious doesn't necessarily pertain to it as for like the Maori culture, but it's been part of their way of life for as long as they've been writing on paper that poi spinning is a thing. Poi spinning's been around for a lot longer than they've documented it being around too. So we're doing operations as a religious organization. Basically what that means is we don't have to file taxes anymore. Poi is church merch, and we're looking for donors. If you want to donate to our religious organization, it's a write-off on your taxes, and we don't have to file taxes anymore, so there's really no way. It's up to you to report it fairly on your own taxes. But if you're looking to donate some money, we are tax exempt. We have tax exempt status, and donations are a write-off. Well, they're tax deductible for you. What else? My socials got deleted, which is a crazy feeling. I haven't really liked using social media for a long time. It's cool that my YouTube is still here, so I can still get information out there. The bummer is there's a bunch of people that I don't have your contact information. We've been talking. There's a bunch of people, and I just reached out, and I had people message me their shipping information. So send an email to Christopher G. Kelly 110 at gmail.com. I'll put it in the description. Hit me up, send me your digits. I need people's phone numbers. I don't have people's phone numbers. It's crazy. And like 12 years or 10 years of tricks on Instagram, just not even there anymore. And I could still download the videos, so it's not like they're gone forever, which is also kind of cool. Part of me was like, damn, I don't want to not use Instagram. It's like the investment of energy for so long made it to where it felt like I was never going to be able to stop using Instagram. So I'm really stoked it got deleted. I think it got deleted because I was talking too much about my court cases, and I have this active warrant, but the cops can't arrest me on this chunk of property that I live on because they don't have jurisdiction over my land. The warrant is in the state of Oregon. It's not in other states, and it doesn't apply to my piece of land either. If you ask me, this chunk of land isn't the state of Oregon. There's a word called sovereignty. I don't really like using that word. I don't like claiming to be sovereign or be a sovereign citizen or this be a sovereign nation or anything, but being a 508 religious organization, there's 9 federally recognized tribes of Oregon, and if you ask me, I'm the 10th federally recognized tribe of Oregon. I'm a tribe of one, and because I'm a 508 religious organization, just because I haven't asked for permission through like the Indian Affairs or I'm a religious organization, and poi spinning is our primary focus. The act of creation in general is what we focus on. Creating in the eye of the creator, inspired by the creator. So just creation in general, like the act of creating. What is creation? What does it mean to create something new? That is our primary focus. And so poi spinning, that's all I've ever done. That's literally all I've ever done to make money is poi, is selling poi, spinning poi. It's really a trip. So it's way of life. It's religious organization. We've applied for our property tax to be exempt. There's no application process for it either. Whereas most nonprofits, there's a few nonprofits in the flow arts world. You have to go through so much legal work to become a nonprofit. But as a religious organization, you automatically have tax exempt nonprofit status, meaning whereas a nonprofit, all of their equity is equity of the government. So you can't own land as a nonprofit. Um, but as a religious organization, you can. So there's a lot of benefits to doing religious organization. Poi spinning, I love poi spinning. I don't like how poi spinning online generates the idea of community. It's poi spinning online versus spinning poi not online are two completely different things, and we're looking for donors. We're looking for donors. We're looking for people that want to support the project. I've got a bunch of inventory, and I would rather give it away. I want to give away all these poi. I've got like enough inventory to make like 3,000 sets of poi or something like that. I want to give it all away. I need financial backing to be able to do that. So I'm still gonna be posting videos here. It's actually really cool. I'll be able to post more. Like back in the day, I used to go film all day long and then put together a video, and it was be like a little 3 or 4 minute edit. So I'm stoked to do more of that. And but I'm also gonna be talking about like profit margins with poi spinning. There are only a handful of people that are actually making that could be making a profit selling poi. There's a whole problem with it where I did it to survive. I sold poi to survive for the longest time. And capitalism versus communism. I'll be talking a lot about what is capitalism, what is communism, what is greed, and then what is the middle ground between capitalism and communism. I shut down Things on Strings. I shut down the Etsy page with the intention of starting a religious organization. And I knew it was going to take a long time to fully research exactly how to do it, but now I'm more than confident in my knowledge of what it takes to do religious organization, and it didn't require any application process, except for you have to fill out a form and apply for your property tax to become exempt, but you don't have to apply to believe in God. That's what's crazy is like throughout this process I've learned a lot. I've learned about tax law. I've learned about like constitutional rights. I've learned about universal rights. And so basically this page now, I think for a lot of people, poi spinning is part of their way of life, but personally speaking, it has literally been the thing that has generated my whole existence. Everything in this house itself, everything I own was because I was selling poi. And there's always going to be some asshole out there that's will bitch and complain and try to be a dickhead about shipping times. But that's something else we're going to go into, is that when you're competing with people that don't need the profit margin, they don't have anything else to do. I've always wondered why people who have basically unlimited resource, why are they trying to step on the toes of starving artists? Why is it that no one's making a profit margin in poi spinning? As a perfect example, and this is probably what we'll leave it on, Fund the Flow Arts is a non-profit. They put on the Flow Show. People in the Flow Show barely make any money. But Fund the Flow Arts is ran by Flow Toys. They received an anonymous donation, a large anonymous donation, which is how they do their funding. They have these funding programs through Fund the Flow Arts. So that's what I'm saying. And it's an anonymous donation too. When you donate to a nonprofit, you don't have to put on your tax returns where the money is going. You just say it was donated to a nonprofit. And if the nonprofit doesn't want to, you don't have to put out the information. If you ask me, Flow Arts is being strategically kept. The value of it is being suppressed on purpose. Just to prevent people from being able to ask for anything. It's a pretty solid business model when no one is asking for any money, but everyone wants to participate. So is it a hobbyist thing or is it professional? Are we trying to be professional? Or are we trying to be hobbies? If you ask me, what I do isn't Flow Arts. when I spin poi, it's not flow arts. It's straight up religious. It's a religious practice for me. It's all I've ever done. It's all I've ever known. I've never worked for anyone else, and I re-religified poi spinning. That's what I did. I'm a 508. I'm a religious organization with a primary focus on poi spinning, which poi spinning started as, the terminology I would use is a religious practice. That might be a little abrasive using the word religious, but it's been part of the way of life of people. And I always stayed away from learning about the Maori culture. I still don't know much about it, but I think a lot of people have a misconception of the attitude of those people. They're fucking crazy, dude. They're fucking crazy, and I relate to their fucking craziness. They were taken advantage of because they didn't have the same formal sense of like a written language. And the British were able to use contracts to take advantage of them. New Zealand became a place when they said that they claimed sovereignty and annexation at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. I've got a lot to talk about. It's actually really exciting, and I'm stoked to say publicly, like, I'm a religious organization. I re-religified poi spinning, and it's not flow arts. And yeah, it's trippy. So I've got this warrant. They deem the pigs in Douglas County deemed that my guns were unlawfully concealed, but they weren't. They weren't hidden. When they asked if I had guns, I said yes, therefore they weren't hidden. They're inside a locked vehicle. Still, though, I got arrested for 3 charges of concealed firearms. Unlawful possession via unlawful concealment. I was arrested before they searched the car too, which it just really doesn't make any sense. And now there's only 2 charges on the case. And so this is religious for me. If I'm gonna go to court for any reason ever, I need to spin poi in court. I have religious freedom. I think on that note, I say haka. I barely even know what haka means. And haka bag. What's haka bag? Haka bag. I don't know, but it's a vibe. I got this weird. You gotta chase the feeling and chase the vibe. You don't have to apply to believe in God. I didn't do any application process to become a religious organization, and it's American tax code. It's United States tax code. I'm a 508. 508C1A. Pi times phi equals church. 3.14 multiplied by 1.618 equals 508. 'Twas written in the tax code. Yeah, that's the end of the rant. For real, it's a religious organization, and it is my way of life. I re-religified poi spinning, and it's been a part of people's way of life for as long as they've been spinning poi. And on that note, shout out to the Maori people, and be careful if you start a church. You're opening yourself up to energetic interference and attempted interception, and just be careful if you want to just be like, well, we could start a 508 too, we can religify our lives. Go for it. Go start a fucking poi church. Go start a religion. Seriously, try it. It's crazy. Just be careful if you start a church, you're opening yourself up to energetic fucking fuckery. Fuck around and find out. All right. Peace.